blastmusic247.com. We're changing the industry one artist at a time.
Okay, we are over here dancing with a happy song. It has been a minute. Hello. Welcome to SXP MetaMorphosis 365. This is your growth podcast. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you to do that. We're going to start like we always start, with gratitude. There is much to be grateful for today. So one, thank you to Sunshine Cromwell, who hosts her podcast on Friday at 7 p.m. Because if not for her talking about me behind my back in a good way, I would not be here podcasting with you through Blast Music 247. Let me find this thingy so you can go ahead and follow them. Well, y'all, let me tell you what. I'm back to using the laptop today. And when I say that I have to find stuff again because it's been a minute, here we go. Did that work? There we go. Mystical and Magical, that's your QR code to follow bestmusic247.com. You want to do that for two reasons. One, if you are an artist and you'd like to have your work shared on a podcast just like this, music. And two, if you are a fan and you love to just find the good stuff, get on over there and get registered for both of those reasons. I'll give you an example later on in the podcast. So today, also thank you to Blast Music 247. It's a wonderful place to podcast. Got my happy earrings on today. It's McBean saying hello, happy. Okay, so we are continuing our conversation with men on men's mental health. I think it's the best way to really understand men's mental health. How about that? Got to talk to the men. So today we have invited our two gents that have been with us the majority of the month. Let's get them up here to say their hellos. Hello.
Hello.
Introduce you.
Scott Harrow, aka Father Time in the Poetry Streets, and I'm glad to be invited back. I haven't been banned as of yet.
You know, there's actually a button for banning, which I didn't even know. I found that out today or so. But you've done nothing to be banned except for you was acting out last Tuesday. Oh my ever God! Yes, you were, but we will not ban you for that. Okay, great. You have no recollection. Okay, great. Logan, introduce you.
What's going on? Logan, Arrows, several thousand monikers and names, but today we're on our best behavior, unlike Stormcloud to my right over there, he just, he might cut up today again, but like, it's cool. We'll just go tell Zeus to take his cloud back. It's fine.
Stormcloud, I'm done. Okay, on that note, we have more fun in the space. Welcome to the conversation. Ooh. Please do go ahead and introduce you.
I am Triple P, aka the Pretty Provocative Poet, aka David, and I am honored to be rocking out with these wonderful men tonight to discuss.
Okay, so this. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say that last part again.
I was saying just to discuss men's mental health.
Okay, dopeness. And so I got Pixie Fairy. I disappear here and there because this is a man's conversation. And this is like the last conversation of the month, it being Men's Mental Health Month. How prudent and how fun to really celebrate manhood. We have had some really good conversation over the weeks and poked into a lot of wonderful places, even leading to the conversation that we had offline on this topic. So with that, what I'd love to start with is just the simplest of things that you guys are familiar with. So no heart attack out the window. How's your heart? How's your mind? What's going on with your goals? And then guess what? Little Pixie Fairy does.
And then she disappears.
Every time.
Well, since Triple P is, here, and we've been holding it down, I see no reason why he shouldn't start out.
All right. My heart is fine. It's great. It's lovey-dovey. Anyone that has been hanging out with me recently knows that I am deeply in love. So there's that. My mind, though, is in a weird place. Yesterday, I was I was in a clubhouse room yesterday, and I was listening to some poetry, and somehow it affected me. I ended up crying, and I was like, "Why am I crying?" And I to this day, I still don't know exactly what it was that brought that upon me or triggered me. But I've been writing about it. I spent today writing some poetry about it. So I'm working through those feelings and those emotions and trying to figure out what is going on in this mind of mine. But the heart is good. The mind, like I said, is trying to figure out what's going on. And yeah, I am honored to be rocking out with these gents tonight.
Logan.
Oh, that's how we're doing it. Okay. I guess we got to work our way up to cloud status. My heart is good. It's in a really great place. My mind is positive. Like, I got knocked down, but instead of choosing to be miserable and wallow in like the despair, I'm choosing to be optimistic that it's going to work out how it's supposed to. Looking forward to the conversation tonight, and like I said, for on our best behavior. Now I pass the mic to Father Time.
By the way, I love the glasses, Logan.
Right? Like I had to join the glasses game today. You
Dope
know,
look.
Mhm. Just remember, if I'm a cloud, you being rained on means what? Okay.
I'm stepping
Anyway,
to the side because that's disgusting.
heart, mind,
A
and
bit.
goal. um, heart, mind, and goals. Heart is I'm feeling it's feeling a lot. It's a turbulent swirls, and a lot of things all over the place in my heart. Um, trying to trying to find some way to grab it, steady it, or I don't know. Um, once upon a time it was packed in behind concrete. So I don't know. Heart's feeling a lot of different things. Mind is probably the only thing outpacing or keeping pace with the heart as far as swirls all over the place, and um, that I'm just moving forward um, without trying to think so hard, you know, w- without trying to nail down thought because there are so many there. Goals, things that I've been working on that are overdue and behind by a long shot, and it's very stressful. But all I can do is do the things to help bring them to fruition, and I'm still on top of it. Things are still alive, and I'm still working on them and doing what I got to do to try and get them done. It's just very, very frustrating that it's taken so long to get them done. So my check-in doesn't sound nearly as flowery as y'all's, but if nothing else, contrast by a cloud bringing some shade or whatnot. I have no idea. Um, I don't know if our fairy wants to come back and ask another question, or if we should just roll on from there, being us.
I think the fairy's gonna come back. See?
Fairy is
Oh,
popping up. So here's the fun part. There's a private chat here, and I dropped your first question in private chat. So from time to time, I'll just drop it in the chat so it doesn't interrupt the flow of your conversation if need be. But since I'm here, so what had happened was I've had several conversations this week, and it's been wild and interesting. So to hone it down into a little bit something more thumbprint like, because I am sitting with wonderful chocolate manses. Do you guys believe that Black men believe that they're worthy of love? And how does that sit with you?
Before you
And she
disappear,
said, "Oh, you know, I was about to go." Yes.
I just want to put the onus and responsibility on the other two glasses wearers because my screen is so small for whatever reason I cannot
Yeah.
read. There's
So
no
I'm going
hope.
to task Logan with that because Logan knows how to get in there and comment and make jokes and the whole none of it. So you're tasked
Hmm.
with the questions that I drop in the private chat.
I got you.
And here's the thing, mind you. So since today is our last day, we are going to move into celebration. So this is really the heaviest questions that you guys are going to get tonight because I want to hear about your celebrations of life as a penis carrying American. So that's pretty much where I'm at.
Wow. The way every time she says that, it almost makes me think like we're supposed to be licensed to carry. And
But don't you think you guys should be? Some of y'all, at least.
I knew you were going to come back up for that. And
What are
does
we
that
doing?
does that mean that when we're wearing boxers, we're carrying concealed? But anyway, uh,
Uh,
does a condom
Classy
count?
like the show.
Um,
I don't even remember what the question was.
All right, so the question
is-
was, do you believe black men believe they deserve to be loved?
all right. Who wants to go first with this one?
I don't believe that black men in totality believe that. I think it is more common for black men to think that we don't deserve love or that we are unloved. So we fight for that. We try our best to be our best in the hopes that someone will love us and that society will love us. But I believe that the stereotypes that are presented out there paint us in a bad light, and also just even as a people, like it's an uphill battle. I believe that in general. Me myself, obviously, I believe I deserve love because I'm a beautiful black man. Black men don't cheat. Number one, let's just put that out there.
Most
And
definitely.
I believe that.
Oh my God. Hold on. Don't be on my show telling lies now, but okay, go ahead.
And I believe that no, seriously though, and I've met these two wonderful men as well, and I know they are wonderful black men as well. So I believe that all of us here believe we deserve love. But in general, I know it is a battle for us as black men to be perceived as people that deserve love and to be loved and not looked at as dogs or less than. That's my opinion.
Um, I'll take it next unless Father Time, you want to go?
No. You came in. Go ahead. Let the beard speak.
Beard, it's growing in nicely. Um, I agree with Triple P. I think in totality, black men don't believe they deserve to be loved. Um, and for those who do, it's kind of like, do we deserve to be loved by black women? But what I'm realizing and learning is a lot of them don't love women the way they say they do. They love the surface of the woman. And so when they kind of take all of the other substance for granted, it's not that they're getting love back, they're just getting the bare minimum. So it's not really like love. And then when you go into another situation where it like falls apart, it's like, well, I don't deserve love. Like everybody's against me. Um, I do um think that it is something to be learned because you have to unlearn bad habits. You have to kind of step out of the trauma that you might have grown up with. Um, it could have been in like you could have had well, you could have been missing the example on how to properly love a woman or what actual healthy love looks like. So when you grow up and it's absent, you just go through life acting as is, and you start, for those who like beat themselves up or overthink, they were like, all right, if something goes wrong, do I really deserve love? Every time a relationship fails, it's like, well, they were the problem. But if everybody keeps saying the same thing, I'm the problem. So at this point, do I even really deserve love? Do I deserve to feel that joy that comes with being in love? Um, I've met both of you in person. Um, by now, I think I have fed both of you in person. So I know y'all are both like really great men. You know, you guys have great heads on your shoulders. You are going in the right direction. You move with the intent to restore the faith that love exists. You move to rebuild that faith in black men deserving of love, and it's beautiful to watch. I can't say that about everybody I know, but it's beautiful to like see it in practice where you guys are actively healthy, like encouraging your partners, loving them out loud, being attentive, being appreciative, you know, like moving in that direction. So I think if black men learned to do more of that instead of being in their heads and trying to be prideful in everything, not afraid to show that humility, not afraid to being vulnerable, they would be able to believe that they are deserving of love, and they will be able to be in a position to receive the love that they believe they deserve. That's my opinion.
The beard has spoken. So, in my opinion, um, I believe it's a bit deeper than the question alludes to, in the sense that I believe most black men, it's not even a consideration about whether or not they deserve love, because I feel many of us are raised from the standpoint love is external. Love is what we're doing for someone else, and are never taught what we want done for us as love, what we welcome, what we like, what we enjoy, what we want. And in that regard, um I don't think it's even as much of a consideration as to whether or not we deserve it or not. It's not even thought about as much. We think about the things that we're supposed to do for our spouse, our partner, our girlfriend, or whoever, and whether or not we learn that coming up in the house or in the streets or wherever else, the things that you got to do to take care of them or make them happy, or however you want to call it. But for as much learning and detail as put behind that of the things that you need to do to love someone else, I don't think there's as much poured into black men for how do we love ourselves and how do we want to be loved. And without that foundational piece there, it's hard to say how we would even consider deserving love when we sometimes can't even define what that would be for us, you know? So, do I think most black men feel as if they don't deserve love? I would say it fits in that general category, but to be more to the point, I think most black men don't even think about it that far, because they haven't been offered, or they haven't gone into what that would even look like for themselves, feel like for themselves, in my opinion.
I'll take it one step further. I feel like a lot of black men, when you ask them, what is love to you, or how do you feel that if you do deserve love, how should you receive love, or how should you give love? It's always from a tangible place, like, working, money, clothes, sneakers. Like, it's usually not from an emotional place. And a lot of times, if it's not brought to our attention, we don't even realize that love is not this monetary thing that can be bought. Like it really is not just an emotion, because it is commitment and other things as well, but the emotional part of it, I don't think we talk about that enough, or that we even think about it enough as Black men.
And to your point, Triple P, and then I'll pass the microphone back over to our because I think it's also criticized, if not demonized, because how many times do you hear, oh, he's a mama's boy, or something to that effect, when that may be, for some of us, the only example, even if it's subconscious, of us receiving love, hug, someone who would not just cook for us, but nurture, spend time, talk, take us under those kinds of things. But when you display that, you're called a mama's boy, or worse. And so you leave that behind when you leave the house. You don't want that. Don't want to display that. So to your point, Triple P, I agree with you and take it even one further than that what few areas we would display it, it's criticized.
Yeah.
All right, all right. I'm gonna touch on that, but I want to first acknowledge our wonderful magical fairy host and her co-host that slid in here like some cocoa butter.
I'm gonna
I ain't
have her
seen her in
introduce
a
herself
month
in
of
a minute.
Sundays. Ain't heard her voice in a month of Fridays. What's going on, sunshine? How you doing?
Mwah.
Miss you, love. Mwah. Um, yeah. Now that I got that out the way and we did that, I will say that when men, like Black men, express what love is to them from an emotional place, yeah, they are considered mama's boys, or they're considered simps. If you say like love means being chivalrous, being honorable, being respectful, being, you know, emotionally based things that aren't materialistic, like active listening, supporting your partner, building them up, those kind of things in society today are like chastised, because it's like, where's your bravado? Where's like, I gotta love you like I love a materialistic object, like I am objectifying you to equate to something materialistic that I love. And like there's nothing wrong with that, like I love me some Jordans. I love like looking dressing nice. Like I love shoes. Which is why I'm going to raid Triple P's closet.
Gang, leave the bloomers alone. Go ahead.
Hey, look, he's got other colors and suits and blazers. I'm raiding his closet for a lot of things. It's okay, we're like the same size. But being able to separate that, like I love those shoes, but the way I love women is different. Like I love them as an equal, seeing them as a partner, not just like I'm here. You're like supposed to just follow what I do, and follow behind me. No, like we walk side by side, hand in hand, tackling everything head on. And your dreams are just as important as mine. But I've been called a simp. Or when I tell people that it's like they don't believe you, because everybody is so used to hearing the norm that it's a materialistic thing. Like I got to physically buy you happiness or buy your love with fancy jewels and like expensive gifts and things like that. I'm like, look, we can sit on the phone and like just enjoy each other's space. I'm here for it. Like I care more about pouring into the connection and building that currency between us and like intimacy, because that's priceless. That's inexchangeable. You can't take that somewhere else and be like, I'm going to get a better deal. So like it's a different kind of wealth to love them in that manner, in that sense where you're not objectifying them, you see them as who they are completely in like the big picture of things.
I
So
guarantee you, if you want to see 94 to 98% of the time, and men on here, please tell me if you agree. If you want to see the electrical breaker box blow in a man's mind, say 94 to 98% of the time, just walk up to them and ask them, how would you like to be emotionally poured into? What?
Yeah. No, 100%. And like that goes back to stepping out of that comfort that you've built within your pride and like your ego, being able to express that humility, that vulnerability, to trust, to let them in, because you don't have a lot of those people who are going to pour into you emotionally. It's overlooked. Like they'll pour into you and be like, "Yeah, you can do it," give you like an inspiration, but they're not going to be like, "Hey, man, like." I heard you just lost someone, or like I heard you got kicked down in the dirt. Like, how can I pour
Yeah.
into you emotionally? You know, how can I help refill your cup so that you keep your head up, so that you keep wanting to go forward and push on through everything, so that you're not just giving up, you're not battling those demons alone, and you don't lose the battle essentially.
Mm.
Actually, we're sorry. Before we go to the ladies, I have one
I see
question.
him. I see his face. Go ahead.
I am really curious.
Uh,
How many times have you had a woman or a partner, I should say, ask you about your feeling outside of like if you had someone in your life pass away, or if something, you were in the hospital or something like that. I'm just curious, as men, how many times, I'm just speaking for myself. I know I haven't had that many partners that actually check for me on an ongoing basis. Like usually it has to be something where like I'm totally already broken and they realize, oh wait, he's not strong in this moment. Let me see what's wrong. But like,
mm.
do you have a lot of women in your lives checking for you like that, or have you? I'm just curious.
Father Time.
The silent
Uh,
specter.
I was gonna say beer. Um, okay. Um, I was really listening to your question, Triple P, and the first thought that came to mind when you were asking it was asking, but really wanting to know, or asking, and are they serious? And because it's one thing to be asked how you're feeling, it's another thing to have someone really try and probe your heart and want to sit there and do the excavation and do the all that kind of stuff. There is one person in my life who has done that, uh, and I won't say it happens a lot. Not to say that they aren't concerned for my heart, but it's also not a place that you just want to stay digging in the dirt all day long. But I do have, my partner who has done that, and it is different. It is different in to have someone who looks at you and says, but really, how is your heart? How are you managing this? What are you doing? And offer you recommendations, offer you, books or prayers or meditations, or what are you doing to make yourself happy today, or this, that, or the other. And it's like, oh, is this how life is supposed? You ever feel like you meet someone and you end up in the universe kind of thing? So, um, yeah, I've one individual, one person, one partner.
How about you, Logan?
Um, so I've had a couple where they have like actively checked on me, or even bothered to ask like, how do we tell that something's off with you? And each time, like I've been weird about it. Like I'll be like, yeah, no, don't really know how to answer that question. But then like I realized that that itself wasn't fair, because they were trying to be there for me in a way that I wasn't accustomed to.
Mm.
And instead of shutting them out, I said, hey, you know, I don't really say what's wrong with me. Like I will go silent before I actively be like, hey, this is what's wrong. So like if you ask me how am I doing and I say okay, like pay attention to the nonverbals, pay attention to the other social cues, because I may not say that I'm okay. And like if you feel like there's something wrong with me and I'm not saying it, just hold me. Like, I'll eventually either say what it is or I will like move past it. But that's how you can be there for me in those moments. And now I'm kind of at a point where if like they still actively check up, and I was like, okay, well, y'all are just going to be annoying thorns in my side in like the best way, and I love that about y'all. But like y'all are forcing the narrative to advance in a more healthy, progressive way, to where I'm actively having the conversations like, hey, this is what is going on. This is why I'm where my head is at. This is why I'm not feeling okay. So like, got like three of them. Um, and it's definitely like a learning process to kind of like go through and experience every time. But I'm glad that they continue to make the space safe for me to feel like I can open up to them in that manner, you know?
So after you, let me interrupt for just a second because I do want Sunshine to say hello and introduce herself. And David, I would like to know your answer to your own question. So, hi, Sunshine. How are you?
Peace, peace, everybody.
Being beautiful. Tell the people who you are real quick.
I am Sunshine. I also have a podcast Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blast as well. Part of Partners in Rhyme, one of the moderators, just doing me and staying balanced.
You cut your hair.
Which is the truth. This is all
No, I
family
do
right
not.
here.
The energy is still there. It's pinked up.
Okay. Okay, I was about to say, you cut your hair, you ain't tell nobody.
So, David, what is your answer to your own question?
Well, yeah. So I've only had two women in the 47 years of life. I've only had two women check on me like that. And I only, like, I didn't even think that was not a normal thing or a normal thing until I started counseling and started talking about feelings. And my counselor saying, like, it's a normal thing. Like, the same way you check on someone, there should be someone checking on you too. But because society isn't set up like that for that to be the norm, if that's something you want from your partner, you literally have to have these kind of discussions with your partner and be like, hey, check on me sometimes, like, yeah, I'm gonna be strong for you, but there are gonna be some times where I need a little, hey, you okay? Just want to make sure, but yeah, I've literally had two partners.
Okay, so here's the fun part. Having been able to sit with you guys and listen to you with two ears. One, I know and love every last one of y'all on this stage. We have life, we do partnership, we virtually live in community together, not only in here, but also in Sanctuary Experience. And on the phone, because I be on the phone with some of y'all and on text messages with some of y'all, a whole lot of that. Okay, so I've gotten to listen with that ear to your heart's cry and your perspectives. And then also, you already know what I do. I've been listening with the life coach ear as well. And if you are open to it, I could share some things, just some things. If you are not, I will happily keep them to myself and we can keep forward the conversation. But it's so very interesting. Like, I really am grateful for y'all. Like, I am grateful for having, especially you three, like literally the three men, to have such consistent men come and be a part of Partners in Rhyme and hold some of the weight of the space that we have every Friday for the last 5 years. And Scott and I have holding it for 5 years. Logan, I think at least 2 years on Logan. And then David, you're in your first year. And then Sunshine, you're in your second year, right? With Partners in Rhyme. I think so. So we have collectively poured into holding space and holding weight and being that ear and voice and heart for people. So I thank you guys for your consistency. I thank you for your heart. I thank you for your mischief and your dirt and the naughtiness and the corners and the abyss and the rim. All the things that we get into, it really adds to my life. And then David and I have a blast writing. Logan and I have a blast writing. Like, we can just tennis and go and go and go. And it is wonderful to have that relationship like I think it's dope, dope, dope. And you guys is hearing. I promise you, I heard so many things. So I'm gonna pause for that one moment. I'm gonna pass the microphone to Sunshine and share whatever she want to share, and love on y'all, and then we will continue.
Well, there's a lot as well, just sitting back listening. I was, just so y'all know, I was backstage the whole time. I was backstage before y'all got backstage. So I
Backstage didn't say nothing.
nope. It was a surprise.
Sneaky, sneaky.
But knowing all of you as well, having the opportunity to meet you in person and to put that together along with listening, and just with my experiences and then the ones that I hear, the ones that we see play out on social media for some folks, um, a lot of that, it's not even a direct, I don't want to say a direct attack, but it's an attack on both sides. The issue is that somehow we all like create who we want, but who we want, like who got our eyes, is not really who we need. So you don't get the person that's going to be that for you, is because if you, and this is just my personal opinion, if you have to explain yourself and give this person the handbook to knowing you, that's not going to have longevity. It's not going to be equally yoked. That's just in my eyes, because when you are totally vested in anything, you get tunnel vision, right? So if you are totally invested in your partner or this relationship that you're supposed to be nurturing and elevating with, if they don't take the time to give the same energy to you like they give to everything else, it's not going to be a priority. It's not going to be fulfilled. You're not going to get what you need. You know, the paying attention to when you get silent, the paying attention to, the signs when your mood shifts. That should come natural to your partner, because they took the time to study you. They watched you, they observed you, they hear you, not to hear you so they can respond. They hear you to listen, to take in. And that's like, in my relationships, I can honestly say I stay consistent, because regardless of the other person, you don't change who I am. I do. I elevate. So if you're not seeing that, in that evolution process is becoming hard for you, that's where resentment builds up in relationships. I had a whole ex-husband jealous of me. And it was just because I had the tools to come from the background I had, being able to still have that push to go forward and still give love. But the whole time we're married, and I didn't even realize until a particular incident happened that he was in competition with me. And it started to, as I'm doing, because I'm a Taurus, I collectively, I get my notes together and I'm prepping my moves and everything, so when it comes down, it's no time for the emotional response. Because when you cut off, you're cut off. It's a done deal. It ain't no return. So, but it was disheartening to know that all the pouring in that I was doing, it was received in the beginning, but once we was locked in, it was like, I'm here, and F all that you talking about, you know what I'm saying? And I'ma just keep doing this, and I'm not going to keep my word. So like, that really took me some time to sit back, but never once have I ever portrayed to all Black men by one bad experience with another. And that's the issue, because people don't have the knowledge. They haven't done the work within themselves. and it's hard on you as men because y'all are taught. Everyone knows, regardless of what this BS they got going on, y'all are like supposed to be the head. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supposed to be the head. Y'all supposed to lead. And when other women hear me say this, they don't really understand it because they haven't experienced it. If a man truly is loving a woman, that is like the greatest feeling and the greatest part of her coming into her evolved self, because that is the feminine and masculine energy now being balanced. And this is where people get upset. You know how you could be out somewhere. Like my uncle immediately knew you guys were together. You feel what I'm saying? Immediately knew it. He said, I like them. He said, I like how they move. He said, I could tell they're together. He said, is that why they call it partners in rhyme? I said, Dad, you ain't slow at all. But it's the energy that you give when you're with the right person. And a lot of times we force people to want to be the right person. And that's where we get the less of what we need emotionally.
And it's interesting, like so in what you were sharing, I find no fault with people who do have a log or a book of who they are and are able to say, hey, listen, this is this is that, this is that. You know what I mean? Like I don't find any harm in it. I agree with you. It is best when folks are about the business of getting to know one another, when they're engaging in the like that is that's best case scenario. That's wisdom, that's longevity, but you have to understand not everybody is entering at the same point with the same reason for the same purpose. And therein lies the difference of the relationship that you're carrying. And let me get the permission from the men before I even go any further. Do you guys want tips or tricks or hacks, rich keys, any of that? Or you guys are just content to share what you're feeling and let it be that?
Well, I guess since you know,
What does this mean?
um,
Not
sure,
everybody talk all at once.
No, he gave me the hand, and this one gave me
No,
the
that's
hand. I
all.
don't know what that means.
I
I mean,
I think he's like, by all means. Am I
no, I'm
right?
gonna need some words. I'm gonna need some verbal cues. Hey, Devlin.
Or
so
like,
Verbal
oh,
invitations like the Vampirs.
yes, I I would say this if we could say something before you begin with
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
um I I feel on one hand men are receptive
Mhm.
to ease and growth and things and this, that, and the other. But even in this moment,
Mhm.
um, how can I put it? There's a certain level of all right. I'll speak for me as general.
If it's not the time, it's not the time, and I'm not offended.
No. I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying it's not the time.
Okay.
But there is also a, you know, and maybe it's just me. I don't know, but even when someone is being helpful for you,
Okay.
even in the smallest molecule or atomic weight, there can be a set of guilt there, a little bit of guilt there, like um, you shouldn't have to do that for me. These are things that I should have been able to figure out or know or this, that, or the other. And
Why? Like,
I,
why
you
should
know,
you have been able to figure that out
well, these are things that
without help or without a salt or pepper?
Logan and I have spoken about these past 2 weeks and so 3 weeks that we've been here. That as far as the things that have been instilled in us. So
Okay.
I say that to say where it may seem hesitant or especially with women where they may feel as if, oh, he just don't want to listen to anything I have to say. No, there is a hard wiring that if it comes down to me hearing something you're sharing, I should have known that already. And it's a problem if you have to say it. that can be a part of it as well.
Is that what you're feeling, Logan or David? Is that what you're currently feeling right now?
Actually,
Not
by all means, give us the tips and tricks.
Yeah,
Okay.
not since counseling, but pre-counseling, that was my mindset. It was like, oh, I need to know, or why don't I know this? Why am I failing? Why am I failing my woman and not knowing that, she's tired now, or what? Like, why did I miss this cue or whatever? But since counseling, I've learned to communicate. Like, and that's why I was asking about, have we had women in our lives that have asked us about our emotions? Because I feel like it's expected of men to ask women, how are you feeling? Am I operating right in the relationship? But I feel like the opposite roles, it's not normalized, or it's not, even though there are women that do it, I don't think it's a common thing where a lot of women check for men unless they see us crying, or we lost our job, we lost a family member, something that's major that they're going to be like, oh, I need to check on my man. But do you actually check on your man on a regular afternoon when everything is, fine?
So
And I try to make it practice in any relationship that I'm in, even with my kids, just check in, once a week. Hey, how are you feeling? How are you doing? Are you okay? Are we okay? And just like a little check-in now and then.
I
So, go
definitely,
ahead.
I'm terrible at it. I'm not afraid to admit that is a fault of mine. I am terrible at doing check-ins. Um, and I try to be more conscientious of it because of that reason. It's like, how do I stomach failing my partner, knowing that, like, I'm not checking in and not acknowledging that they're tired, not acknowledging that they aren't happy, not acknowledging, you know, the the fundamentals. Like, they're there for me, but where am I when it matters most? Like, how am I showing back up for them? Um, and like, going through therapy helped me absolutely, like, understand that, because, like, it helped me get out of my head and thinking that, like, okay, this is where I'm going, where I'm coming from, and, like, I'm so used to things being done this way that, like, I've kind of just developed a blind spot for them. Like, I want them to feel seen, I want them to feel heard. I just didn't know the way to do that. So now it's more or less like I actually listen. Like, I'm listening to comprehend, to understand, and be like, hey, like, how's your heart? How's your soul? Like, what can we do better? And like, absolutely, like, working on bettering my checkups and check-ins with, like, my brothers, my mom, just like everybody in my life that I care about, to be like, hey, like, how are you doing? Are you good? Like, what can we do to help you get to that point? And it's just a constant everyday practice of being mindful and being present in how you show up for yourself and how you decide to show up for others.
So that was a long way of all of us saying, yes, we'd love to hear your tips.
um, so, and mind you, I would think that they're pain free, but you will let me know by an ouch or amen. I would say that for you guys at least, and for the gentlemen who watch it back, who are not maybe a part of our circle. So, and thank you to the people who get them replays. Good God, the replays just be going, which is wonderful. So I'm glad the growth is going out. I love what Devlin shared in the chat. The check-in is key, but expecting to know ahead of time without asking is bananas. There are few of us on this earth who walk it who are mind readers. Few. If you do not fall into that designation, then it means that you got some digging to do. So you can give yourself mercy and grace on that. To think you know it all is error, but to have a curiosity and a willingness, that's wisdom. So I would encourage you, one, if you're going to continue to address or begin to address wherever you are in your journey, the mental health side of things, and this doesn't matter if you have a penis or a vagina or both, this is just the case. You begin with self-love. And again, I understand that many people don't have a freaking framework of what that means. Everybody on this stage got no excuse. So I'm just going to look at y'all with a raised eyebrow because I am sitting right here and y'all know me, y'all been with me. So, and you have the advantage of 3 times a week when your question is posed, how is your heart? How is your mind? What is going on with your goals? Those questions did not come out of the sky. Those are God-given, God-driven questions, and they can cause you to focus in, ask the questions, think the bell, listen, and grow. Backwards as in going back to what I was saying first. Excuse me, y'all, got the call still. The self-love of a thing. If it is that you have not begun the journey of exploring self-love, now is the time. If it is that you have begun the journey of self-love, now is the time to continue and to increase. And I'm not going to send folks to that recording because that's kind of our stuff. But what I would say is the simple time it takes to look in the mirror every day. And not just a quick when you're walking by it, but to stand and face that mirror and stare at the human in that mirror and ask your questions, and you stand there face to face with yourself and you answer those questions. And sometimes it comes ugly. Sometimes it comes with ugly cries. Sometimes you might just want to hug yourself in the mirror. And sometimes you might want to just be flexing and telling yourself how sexy you are with your good muscles and your bald head and your beauty and your eyes and stuff. So it is a wonderful tool. It's very simple. Mirrors don't cost that much. Most folks got them in the home or in the car or wherever you're going. Do your mirror work. That is a very simple, beautiful way to begin. A couple of you guys have been talking about therapy. I think it's so freaking wise. Like I love, especially us in this skin who were born into an existing trauma that is harped on, layered on, blah, 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 and then reinforced by ignorant people. It is that we need a collective cultural therapy, some healing, right? So why would you at any point believe that you don't? Why would you at any point believe that you don't, or that you couldn't, I'll say it that way, couldn't benefit from sitting with a professional and having some of these conversations within the human body? Because yes, you're starting with your mirror and you begin to add your practices. What are the things that you love? You begin to engage those practices. Poetry, all of us up in here are poets. We know to sit down and go to our pen and our ink and retreat into it and think that through the ink. Think it through the ink. Write it down. If you're not a poet, you can still write it down. Journaling is a super, super thing. I did a measure this week from 2021 forward to 2025. And my notes, in my text, in my emails, in my books, they tell me the story. It is a measuring tool. It is wonderful to measure. And here is the simplest of things. If you're not ready to look in the mirror yet, you can begin to define your identity. And it is something as simple as saying to yourself, I love you. I love you. If ain't nobody else on this blue ball, and this is not a comment for you poets, if on this blue ball, love you. I love you. I did not say S, I said one ball. Okay, great. So anyway, if nobody else on this earth love you, I love you. And you spend time cultivating that love. There's nothing selfish in loving yourself. To the Christian people who are listening, no offense, but that JOY is a lie. Jesus first, others next, and then yourself last. That's a crock of shit if I ever heard one. So no, I'm gonna say the truth. You first, because you are who you have in this earth. And you need to know you so that you can come to love you. And it's not the you that someone else drew a picture of or spoke a description of, and that you clung to or believed or rocked with or held on to or been weighed down by. It is a you that exists outside of that. So once you come into learning yourself, once you come into practicing loving yourself, getting in the mirror with yourself and building out that love, it makes it a whole lot easier to be honest when somebody asks you, how is your heart? How is your mind? What's going on with your goals? It takes away the excuses of not delving into that question and answering it as deeply as possible. It'll move you from that light protection I'm just gonna guard and I'm gonna hold it close, and I'm not gonna. That's a choice, but it is a choice. So those are hopefully that was not offensive. I didn't stab nobody in the heart. Anybody bleeding? I got band-aids. Everybody all right? And I'm listening for feedback.
I mean, it's good, man. I hated mirror work when I first started it with a passion, and it's still an uncomfortable place for me. But it does. I could definitely say it does work. After a while, and after a while, it becomes a discipline. Like it literally becomes something that you want to do. You know, even if you're still struggling to believe some of the things you say, it's still something you want to do because you realize, okay, I've made steps towards the man that I want to be. So I'm not who I was, not who I want to be yet, but at least I'm closer in that direction. So I'm gonna continue this discipline, even though it still feels weird, it still feels awkward. It's it definitely is something that is more needed. And to be talked about too, because I think like a lot of people, I didn't know anything about it until therapy. So I'm sure there's other brothers of mine that don't, have no clue what that is. So.
What is your practice? Like, what do you do?
So for me, I actually had affirmation cards that I had to read every morning in front of the mirror. So it started with affirmation cards, and then it started with my therapist had me pick one thing a day that I liked about myself. It could have been my shoulders, and 9 times out of 10, it was my shoulders. But it could have been my shoulders, my eyes, my beard, anything. And I had to affirm myself without the need of anyone else telling me, or even my therapist telling me what I should be looking for or what I like when I see in the mirror. So, but it started with affirmation cards, and then it worked into my perspective, looking in the mirror. What did I actually see?
That's dope. What was your question, Sunshine?
Was it the act that made it awkward for you to do the mirror work? Like, because I hear this a lot from people who, they're like, oh, I can't do that. And then I saw someone said they run from the mirror in the comments. So it's like, can you explain? Was it just because that was something you normally didn't do? Or is it because it made you feel silly?
So it was a bunch of things for me personally. And even religion came into it, which I didn't even understand until I started unpacking it with my therapist, because like a lot of times we look at religion and we look at praising other people for what they do, or, praising God and praising our fellow man, like, hey, you're beautiful today, or you, whatever. But we're not really supposed to be prideful, right? So even as a Christian, sometimes your mindset can be misconstrued, if you look at it from a wrong perspective. So there was a little bit of that. There was a little bit of feeling silly, like, why am I doing this? I don't even believe this will ever change me. And then unpacking like things that I heard as a child, like from parents that it was like, this is the total opposite of things I heard. How am I going to now say this stuff to myself in a mirror, and all of a sudden it's going to become true? So it was kind of a combination of those. Really, like, I would say those are the three main things that I really struggled at first. Like literally struggled, like laughed or just decided I'm not doing this today. Or, and then, you have your meeting with your therapist and like, well, how was it? And then you got to face that conversation to be like, well, yeah, I decided not to do it because it didn't make sense. And then, obviously they strengthen you and they tell you, okay, let's try again. We failed this week, but next week we're going to try it again. But yeah, hopefully that answered your question.
Accountability. Logan has got.
Oh, go ahead, Logan.
So I absolutely hated the mirror work. Like kind of similar to like Triple P, like, it just felt weird, but for the longest I didn't like who I saw when I looked in the mirror. And no matter what I did and how I shaped it, I never liked that version of me looking back. Like it took a lot of unpacking and like unlearning and like really pouring back into me to kind of change that whole narrative. Um, Going and taking medications to kind of like help balance out the anxiety and like the mood swings and like the really low lows also kind of helped do things. But then just changing the voices that I listened to, the voices that were amplified and echoed. Like of course, you know, for those who know my story, like I've got that really, really negative echo that I've been dealing with for 31 years, but I have more positive voices now, and they're not all the same person. They're consistent people. So I started listening to them more often. And then it gradually just changed how I looked at myself in the mirror. So now I like go and give myself affirmations like, yeah, you can do it. Like, get back up. Like, fix your crown. Let's go. Like, you got this. And my therapist is a really, really funny, kind, sweet white lady. Um, she said one of the things that like threw me off guard. She was just like, I'm really proud of you. Like, from where you started to where you are today, I am really proud of you. And I was like, this was unprompted. Like, I ain't even really have to tell you that you've been here on the journey with me. Um, and so it's kind of like hearing that and knowing that like every day I take a little bit more of a stride to be better. Um, I'm learning to really love myself a little bit more every day. And it's just like, yo, I'm kind of dope. I'm kind of cool. So now I'm also laughing when people will say, like, you know, hey, Logan can't come to my house because he's going to make certain things act up and act out. If he comes up to you and he's like, I'm going to make your girl some creme brulee, you might as well just say goodbye to your girl. Cheesecake, cupcake bites, you might as well just say goodbye to her and like go and get your diabetes. And I'm like, that's so crazy. But like, I'm not doing it to take your girl if that's what happens. I'm sorry. But like, ideally I want to put y'all together and like help
Theme song.
y'all like, you know, push forward the intimacy. Like I'm going to feed you something that's going to want to make you cook a lot of sin, and like that confidence carries forward in other things that I do because now I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I got this, y'all. Like, and I can actually mean that I'm good. You know, like I'm okay.
That's what's
Um,
up.
so the mirror work definitely helps. Still not a, like was not a fan of it in the beginning, but it's growing on me. You know.
Good. And Scott, you were about to make a comment.
Yeah. Um. So being transparent because this is why we're here, and even though I'm feeling rather uncomfortable right now, I'm not gonna lie. A little, um,
You said a little angry?
anxious, anxious.
Anxious.
I
Okay, okay.
I don't like mirrors, and I've never said that out. I don't ever remember saying that out loud per se. Not been at the forefront of my mind per se until even this past week. This well, even today, I kind of had some realizations about me and mirrors and such. You know, I believe I had the conversation with you some time ago. I remember very clearly that if not but for pictures in middle school, I would not have known what I looked like because I started avoiding mirrors then. But I I did not perceive that it was still an issue for me, in the sense that, don't like, avoid, not, this, that, and the other. I guess as a guy, I felt as if, what guy really wants to preem in front of a mirror, and this, that, and the other. That's not a guy thing. So me not
Right.
wanting to be in front of a mirror is also normal. But I had to have a hard look. Um, uh, I don't know if it was I had to have a hard look or just, kind of something dawned on me. I was shaving, and one of the things that I had to realize while I was looking up, I was looking at the wall, and I
Ah,
and I was like, wait a second, I can't see what I'm doing, and a lot of what I'm trying to do, whether or not it's the head or wherever, I do more by feel, and I'm like, why am I, and I realized kind of in that moment, because there are times when, um, I I may let it grow out a bit more than I should and such. Um, and I'm thinking to myself, is part of that maybe just because I don't want to be in front of the mirror, you know? Um, I don't spend a lot of time. I don't spend a lot of time in front of it. I don't look in there longingly. I definitely don't talk to myself. And the more I think about it, especially with what Eros just said, Logan just said, um, I can agree that, the mirror is like an amplifier, and there's plenty enough things in there to see that I'm not satisfied with. And, I don't know. I just being transparent. That's just kind of
okay.
where I am with it right now. And eventually, at some point, I'm sure that I'll grow in that area and all will be well. But listening to y'all, I am not nearly as adept and well assimilated with the mirror as you two other gentlemen are. So yeah, there's that.
Everybody's on their journey. Like everybody's on their journey, and just transparency and there's clarity. And I'm just looking like, how far do we want to speak? So the
I just want to say this is a 3-year progression. So this isn't like I started it 3 weeks ago and I've succeeded. Like this is literally a 3-year progression to get where I'm at. Because it was not like that at first. It was not easy.
Oh,
and thank you for pointing that out too, because that's to be known. What about to say, Scott? Or was that you?
well, yes, and I appreciate Triple P saying that. Um, I You have complimented how I look, and of some of the things you've said, and I've gotten different compliments on occasion here and there, right? You're a handsome gentleman, or this, that, and the other, right? And when I say, that falls in the area of so foreign or hard to accept or trying to accept it, to be able to look into a mirror and embrace what's there or embrace what someone's seeing, it's like, and then I look at everybody on stage and, I look at y'all are some handsome gents, y'all are some gorgeous women, and y'all are some amazing melanated people, and I look outwardly, I cannot look at myself within the confines of that. I
I
don't know.
wouldn't say cannot. I would say you just haven't learned to yet. And the truth of it is, it's not osmosis, it's decision. I would think by raising hands, everybody that's doing it decided to do it and did it and didn't stop doing it. So it does not come by prayer alone. Some of this is fasting, the fasting of the discipline in the doing, the discipline in the doing. And it's like the invitation is always, I don't know, I would say it this way because this is just in the spirit and I know it's true. The invitation to elevate or escalate comes. It is for us to decide, yes, I would like to accept that invitation. Until then, we have declined and declined and declined. And life will show us. That's the wonderful thing about having birthdays. You can measure from one birthday to the next what progress you've made. That's the great part about having goals. That's why it's so important. And I'll be harassing the heck out of y'all to set goals. Is because you can measure and you are being productive, you are being active, you are using this thing right here for yourself to progress yourself. And it's wonderful that we can come together and we can progress together. That's great. And that's necessary too. Community is necessary, yes. But there's got to be individual work now. We are so over the hour, and I have freaking enjoyed having you guys. And thank you guys for being so transparent and for opening up and sharing who you are and Girl Tools and all of that. And it's necessary for the men to open man mouth and say man things to man. And woman, I am gonna say the things, and I'm not just a talking head of a woman. I am 6 and damn near 7 figures into my learning because I understood I know some things that I need to know. And damn it, if a dollar was gonna keep me from learning, I took the heart in with me of I know my people need this and the people I come into will need this. So I learned in a manner to teach, certified in a manner to teach, advanced trainings in a manner to teach, because I know we need it. So it is my honor to have y'all come and just be like to be who you are, which is freaking amazing, to feel how you feel, which is completely valid, to be on the journey at whatever place you're in. It's your damn journey. So you get to take your journey, you know what I mean? And I get it. Sometimes when you're taking your journey, you are at the pace of that you are in, and everybody can't move at your pace. Some people are moving faster and they got to cut ties, let go, and keep moving because that's their pace. And then there's some people who are moving slower, and maybe you can slow down and catch up with them, and or you just keep moving at your pace. Like you own this life. It is your life. It is your journey. I love being you guys as partners in rhyme. It's a high joy for me. Like I love y'all, and it has been a real honor to have you come and be a part of this with us. So with that, I'm gonna free the hostages. So I gotta do the grown-up stuffs. I will offer a last thought. If anybody has a last thought that they want to share, if anybody wants to escape from melting, you're welcome to do so. But if anybody had any final thing they wanted to share before we get out of here, you're welcome to do so now.
Oh, I thought you wanted us to do poetry. Okay.
Oh, I sure. Yes, I do. I lied. I totally forgot about that. Oh, yes. We were having such a great conversation. I do. Go ahead.
I just want to say to all the men, especially fellas here, I love y'all. I support y'all. Y'all are the dopest brothers that I have come in contact with in my 44 years so far on this planet. So the openness that you share, the vulnerability, y'all exhibit real men energy to me. So, if you feel like you're not walking in it, in my eyes, I see it, and y'all are just going to continue to evolve.
Thank you.
I had to take my glasses off because I don't know why Triple P and Sunshine over here lying about the ages. Like she's not. She over saying 44,
I'm
like
like
she ain't
81, baby.
39.
Stop
He's
playing.
like I'm 47, like he ain't
You're
43.
47.
Like what is happening,
I'm
y'all?
44.
The lies. The lies.
4 for 4.
I'm the senior to all y'all. I ain't telling my age, but I'm definitely a senior around her. But yes.
She really mad, y'all.
I would say thank you to Melikia for having this space, being so consistent at it, following the leading of what God told you to do, and having a heart and a mind for men, that you would be more interested in inviting us to speak than telling people what you think is on our heart. So truly appreciate you.
Thank you. I received that love. So in the order of poets, Scott, you want to go first, and then David, and then Melvin? Because that's how you guys appear on my screen. Does that work?
I noticed
Okay.
all thumbed up real quick. Like, you know,
Put your hands up and say we,
just
David.
sure.
And Logan, who's going downstairs until it's your turn. Wee! Oh wait, where did Scott go? Hold up, it's a conspiracy. I think StreamYard Jesus just got him. So hold that thought. I'm giving him a moment to adjust whatever
You hear
needs
me?
to be adjusted. Oh, I can hear you, but we can't see you. There you go. Okay. Say
I may
something.
not be able to do my poem because it's on the phone. Do you hear
It's
me?
not cooperating. Oh, when you go away, it goes
Hello?
away. I can hear you.
Hello? 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 You hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
you can't hear me. Can you hear me
May
now?
not be able to. I can hear you, yeah, but I don't think I can do my poem because it's on the phone. And
Oh,
I tried to go to where it is on the phone, and it created all of those machinations. So I may not be able to do
oh,
my piece.
okay, fair
And
enough. Like that's I won't fault you that because what you've shared so far has been amazing. Are you satisfied, or is there an alternative that you seek?
let let the others go, and if I can figure something out, I will.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Put your hands up and say we.
Uh,
Oh, David. There you go.
I
You
love
have returned it. Pixie.
it. From a child, I never cared what people said I should wear. I never got caught up in trying to appear in the latest fashions. I never imagined myself a mirror of the crowd. Wow. Why? Because my kind of dressing came with fashionable lessons. It taught me strength in wardrobe selection, so I wore my clothes loud and still vowed to never shroud my smile or sense of style into silence. And now, as I've reached my 40s and still growing, still learning, still molding, still healing, still atoning, someone said to me, I wear broken like a brand. And maybe I give a damn, but see, no one's ever shopped with me through my misery. No one's ever took me to the mall to fix my fall. No one's ever purchased me faith after mistakes. And no one's ever walked a day in my shoes, feet bruised from the burning sand of sorrow. So no, I don't care for your opinion of how I'm clothed today or tomorrow. I am adorned in perfection, how God made me to be. From caramel complexion to my introverted deflections, my thick skin is an extra layer of protection. No one's ever bought or offered to replace the broken I rock. So if my broken brand seems unbearable, ma'am, maybe it's just unwearable and can't be crammed into your clothing. These big boy pants were trained to be worn in war. This somewhat depressed bulletproof vest I wear across my chest is meant to deflect words you hurled at me in stress, so understand. I'll flaunt what I want across runways and promised lands. It's not my fault I'm hot enough to wear broken like it's a brand. That's that piece.
You raise your hand for me. Absolutely. Dope piece. Super, super fire. Logan, I'm bringing you up. Pixie.
Okay. There we go. I had to make sure that my phone wasn't going to die before I got through the poem. So I just put it on the charger. I was going to do a poem, and then Triple P always makes me like change my poems. um, so I'm gonna do this one because, and then probably go find one of those pieces that like he just did. Um, in English, we say I can't comprehend. But in poetry, we say our mental connection is a dial tone, and I'm trying to get through to restore the bonds of communication. Let me learn your languages and find synonyms to summarize the ways to live beyond surviving the times. A thesaurus of melodies carrying remedies to heal the cracks in your heart. Trying to have grace be the quill, instilling wisdom within my soul, the kind to show me how to surrender, the kind to empower each other, and one day we'll grow to be fluent in the way our love goes. See, in English, we say honesty is key, but in poetry, we say broken trust is like breaking vows, creating ideas that lying apparently is lies, our parents breeding distrust and falsified promises, severing connections and burning bridges. So how about instead, we keep it real, cherishing the security of the safety and integrity, for better, for worse. Finding truths and pathways through soul to soul conversations, scribing each other's secrets into letters like diary pages within the subconscious. And let's be upfront, keeping everything out in front so that the shadows don't have ammunition to break us. I promise I'm listening to how you love. In English, we say, here's the key to my heart. In poetry, we say, I hand you the key to forever, with promises of nourishing your soul with affirmations and getting lost with seconds in your smile. This kingdom that fills me with life has a crown always meant for you to wear, with masses of thoughts devoting their essence to sing legends of your character to irises married in God's idea of perfection. So let's grow together like flowers blooming in time's enchanted gardens, creating roots of future generations to live in the beauty of love, healing our hearts through love languages and foundations of serenity tied together by souls for eternity. That's that piece. Whee!
Mercy. All of the love. Whee! I'm enjoying it. And let me get Scott up here and I'm going to go back to the chat and have my fun. Ready, set?
Do you hear me?
Very well.
Okay. So it's entitled Pathfinder. And I wrote it during, hold on one second. And I wrote it this month during men's. So here we go, Pathfinder. Where is the fine line between trailblazing and being lost, breaking new ground or burying the past? How do you fake it until you make it without imposter syndrome or having unshakable faith while shaking in your soul? I am dying to know. I am dying to know. If I face my storm, am I simply twisting in the wind? Or if I take my stand, am I lying down in another position? If all that is dear to me burns, is it a crucible or self-immolation, or are they one and the same? My heart hurts. Its beats are blows against a cage desiring freedom. It's the pain of a misplaced puzzle piece, an accidental smudge of paint on a canvas, yarn yearning to be knitted into the most glorious shawl, yet only found by a cat. Human being. I want to be. I need to be. Every passing calendar day, every minute ticking by every spent breath feels like a shovel full of dirt pitched on a life the world wants to bury, and I want to know. I need to know. What do you do with a journey where your souvenirs are the steps taken? Or how do you justify the time spent like water in a desert, moving from oasis to oasis, swearing the desert blooms? How do you choose the last step? Always being reminded, if not warned, don't give up. Your breakthrough is right around the corner, though no one measures the corner. How many years does it take for an overnight success balanced against my 15 minutes of fame? I drink my own tears to drown my words beyond the ears of anyone hearing. Is my pride shameful, or is my shame pride? Are they two sides of the same pain, or how emotional history lies? Wherein lies the difference between trying not to be or trying to become? I am numb to the taste of trying. I want to feast on success with the race won. I have commanded the earth, prayed to the heavens, fed my mind, stilled my soul, turned down my plate, and sat alone in the dark. With everything I love beyond my reach. If I doubt, if I quit, if I fail, then all these steps in these worn out shoes would have been for what? I'm straining my eyes to see around the corner. My heart desires to beat to the rhythm of a lion's roar or an eagle soaring or a sunrise. I know who I could be, should be, want to be, must be. I just want to be. I have never been more excited than to meet the fullness of me and introduce myself to everyone who has been waiting for him. I will shake his hand, give him a hug, cry, and ask, what kept you? Knowing him, I will probably say something like I was just around the corner, though no one ever measures those corners. So I keep putting one foot in front of the other, despite it all, believing I will blaze this trail. I will find this path. I will turn this corner and be everything that I am meant to be, or die trying. Father Time.
All y'all was on some heavy ink. I don't see David's image. Okay, there we go. All right. I just wanted to bring you all back up to the stage. Thank you for what you all shared. And I put comments in the chat. You probably didn't see that because you guys were busy. But the truth and what you were sharing, PPP, the shaping, the love, and what you were sharing, Logan, and then the ocean swim, and what you were sharing, like such different points of entry, such moments of reflection of the self you are. Like I can feel each of you in hearing your pieces. I can feel the where you are, and I am grateful. Thank you for sharing that here. Absolutely freaking fire, you guys. I don't know. He got
He got
StreamYard
after.
again, right? StreamYard Jesus just be after him. I don't know what he got.
I
He got an
think
appointment with the Lord.
I think StreamYard raptured him to recapture
Yeah.
Merlin's beard that he's wearing. It's okay.
Absolutely. And seeing as how I'm at 121, I think I better knock it off. Thank you both for being here. Thank you both for sharing. And to Scott in his absence, hold on a moment.
He's
There
back.
we go. Woohoo! Resurrection. Thank all three of you for being here and being a part of such an important conversation. I am grateful, and I am also 22 minutes over. So I'm going to say, hop downstairs, wait for me. I'm going to wrap this up really quickly and then have a quick chat with you guys and release the hostages. Thank you, Arrows. Thank you, Scott. Thank you. I'm going to say your name. Thank you, Logan. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, David. And monikers, Arrows, Father Time, and Triple P. Much love. Heavy, heavy gratitude.
Heavy in here.
Heavy here. Absolutely. Ooh, one moment. Okay, y'all, you have tuned into SXP Metamorphosis 365. This is a weekly podcast. We're here every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have 84 episodes to go binge. That means that you want to go learn all that you can learn in this free, you hear it, FREE podcast. Subscribe to Melikia K Courtney YouTube channel. Subscribe to Blast Music 247 channel. And I'm going to give you just a couple of seconds of what's possible as far as, let me find it, y'all. As a fan, just a couple of seconds, and then we get up out of here, y'all.
broken ground. Need you to hold me tight. I'm sliding with my hips. Daddy loves the grind, climbing on my heels. Every penny mine, following my queen. Settle that night, we'll linger on the sheets.
I'm over here just talking and my mic is whole muted. How about that? So that is Michael Soul. Go and find Michael Soul across all your streaming platforms and tag in. It is a beautiful full song. Next week I'll play it in entirety. Last week I actually think I did. So you will catch it while you binge. Melikia K, Courtney, have a wonderful evening. Bye.